Ekiti, the land of honor and integrity. Ekiti, home for the best of radio broadcasts with Midas Radio 90.5 FM. Midas Radio 90.5 FM. Unrivaled entertainment non-stop.
News now, latest development, events to look out for, not only in Nigeria, but across the globe.
No provision for fuel subsidy. The fuel subsidy is gone.
Political issues, foreign affairs.
I will protect Social Security and Medicare for our great seniors. They deserve it.
Business reports, sporting events.
Hello for Garnacho! Oh, wow! Oh, wow! That is one of the great goals!
Entertainment updates and many more. All on Midas Radio 90.5 FM. Unrivaled information. Fresh, factual, accurate, unbiased, concise, balanced on Midas Radio News. It's time to bring you stories that matter.
It's 1 o'clock. Good afternoon. I am Esther ISAH with Beyond Nigeria on Midas Radio 90.5 FM, broadcasting live from Ado Ekiti. Here are the top stories. Appeal Court adjourns PDP convention case, urges amicable settlement. 6 dead, others injured in Switzerland bus fire. Australia shuts embassies in Abu Dhabi, Israel over US-Iran conflict. Now the news in detail. The Court of Appeal sitting in Ibadan, Oyo State, has adjourned the case involving the People's Democratic Party over its Ibadan elective convention indefinitely. During the sitting, the justices advised counsel to provide proper guidance to their clients to facilitate a peaceful resolution of the dispute amicably outside the courtroom. The appellate court, however, urged the lawyers to be mindful of time, particularly in view of the recently released electoral timetable by the Independent National Electoral Commission. It also said that if the parties fail to reach a settlement, they are free to return to the court for further proceedings. Recall that the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja had recently invalidated the PDP elective convention held in Ibadan, which produced Tanemo Toraki as the party's national chairman. In the meantime, the federal government has launched a new initiative to reconnect schools across Nigeria to reliable internet services in efforts to expand digital learning and integrate modern technologies into the country's education system. To drive the initiative, the Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa, and the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, met in Abuja with key stakeholders to coordinate efforts between both ministries on the nationwide school connectivity program. According to a statement by the Director, Press and Public Relations at the Ministry, Folashade Boriowo, the Education Minister said the initiative builds on earlier efforts carried out through the Nigerian Research and Education Network. The development follows a directive by President Bola Tinubu to accelerate the expansion of national digital infrastructure and ensure that key sectors, particularly education, benefit from ongoing broadband and telecommunications investments. Beyond Nigeria, Britain's parliament has approved the legislation that will remove the remaining hereditary peers from the House of Lords, ending a century-old system of aristocratic seats in the upper chamber. The House of Lords passed the Hereditary Peers Bill, fulfilling a reform launched more than 25 years ago and a key manifesto pledge from Prime Minister Keir Starmer to modernize the upper chamber. Starmer had said the parliament seat should not be secured by birth. In a statement, leader of the upper chamber, Angela Smith, said the Lords played a vital role within the bicameral parliament, but nobody should sit in the House by virtue of an inherited title. Still in Europe, police in Switzerland have reported the death of 6 persons and the injury of others after a bus caught fire in a town in western Switzerland. The police said the incident took place about 12 miles from the Swiss capital, Bern, adding that although the cause of the fire is not yet known, about 3 persons were taken to the hospital. In a post on X, Swiss President Guy Parmelin expressed shock and sorrow about the fire accident and the loss of lives. In the Middle East, an Israeli strike has hit an apartment block in central Beirut, Lebanese today, widening attacks in the capital beyond the Hezbollah-controlled southern suburbs. Israel had reportedly launched an offensive against Iran-backed Hezbollah after it opened fire on March 2 to avenge the killing of Iran's supreme leader at the start of the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran. According to the Lebanese Health Ministry, 4 persons were wounded in the strike. While there has been no immediate comment from the Israeli ministry, the strike would mark the second one in 4 days. In a related development, a Sri Lankan court has ordered that the bodies of 84 sailors killed in an attack on an Iranian warship off the nation's coast last week be handed over to Iran's embassy. The court order was issued following a request from the police in the southern port city of Gil. Deputy Defense Minister Aruna Jayasekara said Sri Lanka has also granted 30-day entry visas to 208 crew members from a second Iranian vessel who were taken in after the vessel experienced engine problems in the same region. Jayasekara said the Sri Lankan Foreign Ministry is in touch with the Iranian embassy about the crew, and the mission is in turn consulting Tehran. You are still listening to Beyond Nigeria on Midas Radio 90.5 FM. Ado Ekiti.
Remember to protect the land of honor and integrity. Please visit www.midasradio905.fm for more information, and you can follow us across our social media platforms at Midas Radio 905 for regular updates. You can also download our app on Apple or Play Store for convenient access and your listening pleasure. Midas Radio cares about you, and we are committed to bringing you stories that matter.
Thanks for staying with us. Moving on to the rest of the news. Afghanistan's Taliban government has rejected the U.S. allegations that it detains foreigners to obtain leverage over other countries. In a statement, Afghanistan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs described the designation as regrettable, saying Afghan authorities arrest people for violating laws not to make a deal. The ministry said that no foreign nationals had been detained for purposes of a deal, adding that while certain individuals have been detained on charges of violating established laws, they were released following the completion of legal procedures. The U.S. Department of State had announced the designation of Afghanistan as a sponsor of wrongful detention, accusing it of engaging in hostage diplomacy and warning Americans not to travel to the country. In the meantime, Australia has closed its embassies in Abu Dhabi and Tel Aviv, as well as its consulate in Dubai, amid fears that the conflict in the Middle East could intensify. Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong said the move was necessary as at least 9 cities where Australian embassies and consulates are located have experienced missile and drone attacks. Wong added that the country has also directed dependents of diplomatic officials in the United Arab Emirates and Israel to leave. More than 3,200 Australians have returned from the Middle East on 23 commercial flights since the conflict began. Finally, on sports, U.S. President Donald Trump has said Iran is welcome to take part in this summer's World Cup despite the countries being at war. In a post on social media, FIFA President Gianni Infantino said he met with Trump to discuss preparations for the tournament, which is being hosted by the US, Canada, and Mexico beginning on June 11. According to Infantino, during the discussions, Trump reiterated that the Iranian team is welcomed to compete in the tournament in the United States. Iran is scheduled to play 3 matches in the US, but their participation has been in doubt since the US and Israel launched strikes on the country this month, killing Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. That's beyond Nigeria this afternoon, but before we go, here is a recap of the major stories. We told you that the Court of Appeal sitting in Ibadan, Oyo State, has adjourned the case involving the PDP over its Ibadan elective convention indefinitely. We informed you that police in Switzerland have reported the death of 6 persons and the injury of others after a bus caught fire in a town in western Switzerland. Finally, came a report that Australia has closed its embassies in Abu Dhabi and Tel Aviv, as well as its consulate in Dubai, amid fears that the conflict in the Middle East could intensify. That's Beyond Nigeria, as edited by Ayotunde Adebiyi. I am Esther ISAH. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good afternoon.
Get ready to groove.
Splash